guys, this is Jeff, the best reporter, reporting live from the U.S. National News. As you can see behind me, there is a dangerous, probably the biggest forest fire in the history of Maine. This fire has been destroying the forest. The fire has also found its way to cities and has been destroying them, so you better watch out. Your life may be in danger, so stay tuned to the U.S. National News for reports on your area being safe or not. Again, this is Dad reporting live from the U.S. National News. Sup, curious readers, I'm Dave from Dave's Book Summaries, and today we are looking at the book Wildfire. This book consists of 22 chapters, and it's written by Rodman Philbrick, who happens to be a Newbery Honor novelist. He has also written the classic bestseller, A Really Good Book, Freak the Mighty. The main characters of this book are Sam, Delphi, the fire, and the truck. Now, let's get started with the book. While people at Camp Robanoski are evacuating to escape a dangerous, life-threatening forest fire in Maine, Sam runs back from the bus towards the camp for his cell phone. Minutes later, he is separated from his way back home, the bus, by thick burning smoke and a wall of fire racing to kill him. Sam has to run deeper into the forest to escape the fire, and when he thinks he's going to die, he spots a swamp and starts running toward it. While sitting in the swamp, Sam is thinking about getting to a road and then get home. Sam's dad had many sayings about surviving in the woods, and now Sam was trying to follow them. His dad, who loved the outdoors, had never returned from a work trip to Afghanistan, dying there. Soon, after a while, Sam found an old logging road. Sam knew that the logging trail was built to take out lumber because his dad was a trucker who drove for paper companies hauling pulpwood. Sam had hoped that the trail had to connect to a main road, which brings him closer to home. Sam turned left, going in search of a main road. While walking, he finds himself facing a stream. Sam knew that the spring was built for lumber camp drivers. New hope sparked in him. Sam also spots a lumber camp in the fading light and heads toward it. The camp was open, so Sam stayed there for the night, and even found water jugs and food in there. The next morning, Sam goes to the shed by the camp, which had a vehicle, an army jeep. With the fire back, Sam went to the camp, got some water and food. Because Sam couldn't outrun the fire, he was taking the jeep. By thinking hard, he figures out how to turn on the jeep and escapes just in time. While driving, Sam hears a girl shouting for him to stop. The girl, Delphi, was from Camp Calusa, a survival and sports camp. Delphi was texting someone outside before she got lost in the dark and the fire threatened to eat her. After listening, Sam tells her how he hopes that this trail connects to a main road. After a while, the jeep suddenly stops, dead like a doornail. After knowing what the problem is, with Delphi's help, Sam fills the tank with gas. Later in the day, they come across a cottage where they can stay for the night. In the kitchen door, they find something like a flip phone, which gets them excited, but it turned out to be a self-powered emergency radio. When they got it working, they heard Fat Freddy Bell giving a report on the fire. After eating some food, the two go to sleep, waking up around early morning because of hearing the sound of a dirt bike. Sam thinks they're here to rescue him, so he wakes Delphi up. Then, he realizes that the people are yelling something in anger, and then they set the cottage to fire. The two rush out to the jeep and luckily outdrive the fire. After their narrow escape, a while later, a moose comes in the way. To avoid killing it, Sam has to step on the brakes, which causes them to skid and the jeep to fly in the air. There was a tree that blocked the jeep from landing on top of them and killing them. But the bad thing is that the jeep is tipped over on its side. Delphi suggests taking the jeep back on its right side by making a lever. With the tree as a fulcrum, aka the pivot point, they just need to find fallen branches that could work. Suddenly, they hear a plane go above, which makes them go crazy, and they start running to find a clearing. Then, when the plane leaves. They're lost. Sam says they should make a plan and stick to it. When it gets dark and they still haven't found the Jeep, they decide to sleep below a tree. The next morning, the two wake up to thickened smoke and heat. The fire's catching up. When they find the logging trail, it wasn't very hard to find the Jeep. As soon as the Jeep is found, Delphi finds a big branch that they could use as a lever. With some effort, the Jeep is back on its tires. After escaping safely, Sam asks Delphi to be on the lookout for a tree big enough with climbable branches. When the tree is found, Sam is on his way to the top. To be in the clear, Sam has to climb 2 more branches. He almost slipped on the last branch, but he made it. When Sam was back down, he told Delphi that the fire was at least 10 miles away, and he saw another camp around 5 miles away. It soon gets dark, and the driving has to stop. Delphi spots a deer stand, and they both go to sleep there. The next day, thunder and lightning is striking like crazy. Sam and Delphi are on the deer stand and have to get down fast. They both make it, and by the time they're down, the stand is on fire. Before they can escape, they're facing another danger, a bear. It's in the backseat of the Jeep, not a full-grown, but not a cub either. The black bear is scared of the fire, and with no den or shelter, it chose the Jeep's backseat. Sam is slowly backing up, but Delphi walks up to the Jeep, holds onto the horn, and the bear runs away. After a few miles, the Jeep runs out of gas. Sam and Delphi just get off and start walking. They soon spot a lake. After the two are done drinking water, they head towards the way they think the camp is. The camp was evacuated, but it had a dining hall, electricity, and everything. Most importantly, it was open. Sam goes on a gravel road by the camp in search of gas. He soon spots a sign that says State Road 12B, 7.2 miles, but no gas. After getting back, he learns that the hall has enough food to last them 1 year. After eating, they think about ways the camp communicates with the police. They had to have a phone to do that. They check out the office and the whole camp, but don't find anything. Now, Sam tells Delphi about the state road sign, and they both go around the camp in search of gas. Gas enough for 200 miles is found, and Sam takes some towards the Jeep, while Delphi packs up the supplies. The logging trail doesn't directly connect to the gravel road, and the Jeep will have to pass a 4-foot gap over a rocky edge somehow. Delphi says they can build an inclined plane. They spend the next few hours doing that. The next morning, Sam is woken up by Delphi because the dirt bikers are back. The bikers break into the main building and set it on fire, but don't see Sam and Delphi in the cabin. Sam and Delphi think of making a run for the Jeep because if they stay, they're gonna die. Sam and Delphi are nearly at the Jeep, but the bikers soon spot the two of them. The bikers are coming on top of the Jeep while it's moving and trying to take control of the Jeep. That would have surely killed Sam and Delphi, but Delphi hopped in the backseat and used a stick to knock the bikers off. After all that, Sam finally checks the compass on the dashboard and realizes they're heading in the opposite direction now, which is back into the fire. Delphi is mad and wants to know answers. When they get to a hilltop, Sam quietly says, "That's the end of the logging trail." Sam is really mad and he thinks he messed up the whole thing. While walking around, Sam spots a needle-like thing and shows Delphi. The needle looks like a radio antenna, and they realize that people had to have a road to build that radio antenna-like thing. So, with no paved road or path to follow, Sam and Delphi are attempting something very, very dangerous. They're going down the hill. Once the Jeep is off the edge, Sam can only steer, and Delphi shouts him directions, and they make it like that, avoiding trees and boulders all the way. They are soon at the radio station, the one Freddie Bill broadcasts from. Out comes an old man who is surprised that he can actually escape. Sam tells him to hop in, and Freddie gives Sam directions for the road. When they get on the road, they're racing away from the fire, and they soon land into a lake's Loon Lake Miracle Spot, as they call it. The one place on the lake where the water is shallow enough for them to breathe and deep enough for them to survive. Duffy, Sam, and Freddie have survived. The grandson of the owner of the truck pulled the truck out of the lake and rebuilt it to present it to his grandfather, Captain Aldrich Brown, on his 90th birthday. Sam was there at the party and was handed the ownership papers of the Jeep, which is now in his garage waiting for Sam to turn 16. The two bikers were found and arrested. Sam and Delphi still meet and talk sometimes. Now Sam's family is happy as ever. That was it for the book Wildfire. The author Rodman Philbrick was kind enough and took the extra effort to add in ways to escape a fire in real life. So here are the steps to escape the fire. 1. Make a plan, which means know your escape routes. 2. Know escape vehicle. 3. Pack your valuables, like have a bag with important paperwork like passports, insurance numbers, personal finance info, etc. 4. Have a plan for pets. Number 5. Fire danger states usually have alert apps, so make sure you download one if your state has one. For more details on these, if you want to go into detail for these fire escape steps that were written in the book, make sure you check out the description box. And I will also add some links, helpful links, for you to look at. So make sure you check out the description box and subscribe to my channel. Keep reading, keep improving. See ya!